The following episode of UNB Live was recorded October 23rd, 2025. Well, you know, it's absolutely incredible to know that just like that, it's episode 29 of UNB Live. Hello again, friends. My name is Bob Price, alongside Upper Nicola Band Communications Officer Diana Boston.
Hello, Bob. We are so pleased to have former Chief and current Councillor Scotty Holmes back on UNB Live to update us on the efforts to resolve the Douglas Lake Commonage, which I think we can all agree has dragged on for far too long. But just maybe, we might be getting close to having a breakthrough.
That's good news indeed. But first, Diana, as we always do, we're going to kick things off with the people's business, the UNB Live Rundown next. Diana, starting off this edition of the Rundown with some pretty important business happening at the next general band meeting.
Yes, we've had to move the general band meeting, so it's not on the last Wednesday of the month. It'll be on the first Wednesday of November. We'll have the dinner starting at 5. It'll be hybrid, so you can go have dinner at the school, or you can join on Zoom at 6 or go to the school at 6. And it's actually quite an important general band meeting. We have a member wanting to change the election code, so we're going to have a vote on that. The 30 days will be up. And we're also going to be discussing the highly needed dog bylaw, or animal bylaw. It's not just for dogs. So
Terrific.
Yeah, that's going to be on the agenda.
Terrific, and I know you are quite close to that issue. That was a close call. Tuesday, the 21st, a lot of concern in a really big hurry for the new Quilchena Community Center.
Yeah, we had a little bit of a scare. There was a minor fire. It could have been a lot worse had we not had community members rush into action. We had a community member who spotted it, contacted the right people, and we got a couple of members got some hoses and whatnot, and ran up onto the roof and took care of it, and the fire truck got there. So it was a very close call, but they're working on it and trying to figure out why it happened.
Why it happened, but giving credit where credit is so due. Those neighbors who saw the smoke, who spotted it right away, and literally took action into their own hands, just did what needed to be done.
Takes a village, Bob.
Takes a village, indeed it does. Officially, minor damage, and they're hoping it probably will not impact the building's completion date in the new year.
It's going to be a very, very minor delay, if any.
If any. Well, this one sounds rather intriguing. A First Nations leadership orientation coming up at NVIT.
Yeah, this one's going to be quite interesting. Our councillor, Scotty Holmes, has created a program, like a course type thing. It's a 24-hour course. It'll be from November 17th, run through that whole week, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., and it'll be at the Merritt NVIT campus. This is a collaboration between NVIT and Upper Nicola Band, but you don't have to be associated with either one to attend. It is, if you have a passion to be in a leadership role in your community, this is a course that'll help guide you to get to the right areas to be the best leader that you can be. So if you would like to sign up or have any more information about that, you just contact admissions at the NVIT Merritt campus.
And again, that date?
November 17th, runs through the whole week, and it'll start at 9 a.m. every day.
Terrific. An important community engagement meeting coming up related to education matters.
Yes, unfortunately, they're talking about closing one of the schools in Merritt, which will impact all of our Upper Nicola community that goes on the bus to Merritt to go to school. It's the two schools that our community utilizes, so one of those will be closing, potentially closing. They're not 100% yet. So they want to have a meeting with the school district and our community on November 18th. And that's going to be at the Lakeview Kustumtima office, and it's going to be from 5 p.m. to 7, and they're going to have a dinner there. So everybody's more than welcome to come on out and have your voices heard and let's keep these schools open because we need them to have smaller class sizes.
Diana's hunting season gets underway. We've got a request, we've had it before, a request from Kustumtima and also Niquala School.
Yeah, we need to, in order to teach our traditions and cultures with the students and with the community, and to provide items for our community, they're looking to have anything from an animal that you, and instead of disposing it, bring it to the Kustumtima or Niquala School so that they can either tan hides and, make drums or, just kind of learn the culture and how to preserve everything that we utilize every part.
Trick or treat, some high priority information being put together right now by the grandmothers.
Yeah, they're actually, it's actually quite a neat concept. They're going to get a map and they're asking homes that are actually going to be handing out candy.
Yep.
And so that they'll have like a little pumpkin on the map so that you're not just knocking at random doors. And then Christine Chilhitia will be running that, and that'll be in the next newsletter so people can just rip out that page and go door to door.
Well, speaking of Halloween, Quilchana Church, another gathering place.
Yes, we're going to change it up this year. We're going to have the fireworks, which is put on by the Kustumtima, Upper Nickel Administration, and the Volunteer Fire Department. The gathering place will be at the Quilchana Church, and just above the church is where they're going to be lighting off the fireworks. So it'll be a nice view from the church, and everybody around the lake will be able to see it as well. We would also like to mention that there will be some hot chocolate and hot dogs available, and we're asking it to be just the band members and the nearby community. We don't have enough space to have everybody there, unfortunately, so it is a community event.
Any update on the need for firewood harvesters?
Still need them. Gonna need them all winter. It's gonna be a chilly one this year.
That's what they fear. Last winter was so mild, but this, you never know what nature is going to throw at us.
Oh yeah.
One more, Diana. The Spuckman Pit House out of commission temporarily.
Yeah, we are allowing the floor to cure. They did the new natural clay floor, so we're letting that cure, and it's going to take. They're thinking maybe mid-November it might be able to be open for use again.
Wonderful. Well, it's a matter of when, not if, and just maybe that when is getting closer. So says our UNB Live guest, a determined and optimistic councillor, Scotty Holmes. The UNB Live interview, next. Well, without a doubt, one of the most frustrating issues facing the Upper Nicola Band has to be the yet-to-be-resolved Douglas Lake Commonage situation, a UNB claim of more than 18,500 acres. This matter has dragged on for far too many years. Back in 2005, I believe I have the year right, the federal government of the day simply walked away from the issue to allow the Commonage claim to fester even longer, as it has. Thankfully, though, in recent years, Upper Nicola Band councillor Scotty Holmes has really taken this on, has made it his mission to get this darned matter on the federal front burner once and for all, and to get a resolution. Councillor Holmes, boy, we thank you for all that you're doing on this. And finally, some headway is being made. Would that be correct?
Yeah, thanks for having me on here. And yes, we are making some progress. Hopefully, we'll have this ended by the fiscal year. That's my hope. We'll see. But anyways, yeah, we've been pushing hard on this, and probably some of the band members have been updated on the 17th of a couple of weeks ago, a week ago or so, on where we're at with this.
Is this the closest that we've ever been to having this thing settled?
Yeah, I think well, I guess we were close in the last time as well. In fact, we were closer than where we are right now. Last time, we were actually starting to talk about the compensation packages, which we haven't gotten to here yet. So, yeah,
Yeah.
we're close.
Councillor, let's go back to 2005 when the government of the day walked away from this thing. That was a major setback in this entire process, and more than just by time. I mean, even, it had to have affected the overall spirit of cooperation at the table.
Yeah, it's always frustrating when you find somebody walking away from their obligations, and government is not is a reputation of delays and stupid tactics anyways.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be surprised anymore.
Sadly. Well, in the recent consultation, the impression, and I don't want to speak for you, but the impression was this thing is ramping up.
Well, it has to, and these things have been on the table for so darn long, and that something has to be done. And the only way you can do it is you gotta be aggressive and on almost a 24/7 uh basis, or otherwise it just quickly slides away on you. And not only that, we have to be prepared on a daily basis on how do we best strategically move this thing. It doesn't have to be always on the table. You gotta do a lot of side maneuvers and strategic, discussions with side ministers or bureaucrats. There's all kinds of different ways you can keep this moving, and so that everybody's involved and everybody's up to date. And when you get on the table, then there's no delayment of somebody not being informed. So yeah, it's a lot of side table discussions to keep things moving.
So, Scotty, in a previous interview with us, you had mentioned that these negotiations are like stepping stones. Are these stepping stones making headway?
Yeah, we're probably in a what I think is kind of the first step, of course, is do all the research and look at, the history of all of this, and then you get into some of the legal aspects of it, and then you create your principles of how you want to look at dealing with this negotiation process. That's all been the kind of the first phase. The second phase of it, which is now we've completed, is the actual appraisals of compensation for loss and damages and whatever those are. We've completed that now, both from land appraisal aspect and also from a cultural uh, fracturing aspect. So that's the phase two we're in. So now we're going into what I think is the phase three, which is the actual uh, putting these appraisals on the table. We're there now. What we're waiting for now is Canada is taking an independent process of doing their own land appraisal and assessment and losses. So we're waiting for them, and they're telling us that hopefully they'll have their side completed by October 15th. And we're saying, well, we're holding them to that date so that if that's possible, we will sit and we put our both numbers on the table and walk away and review them. And that might be a 2 or 3 week maybe review of each other's files. And then possibly in November, we'll sit down and start uh, discussing those values. So that'll be where we're at. Phase four is kind of the final stage. Once you've gone through uh, uh, assessing these values and compensation packages and come down to nitty gritties of yes, we agree, no, we don't agree. How can we compromise, or how can we assist this process? If we can't agree here, how do we take that particular item and put it into another table? And then they can let them decide how maybe they can come to some kind of resolve to that position, bring it back to the table. So that'll be our discussion stage, it's a negotiating stage on
Right.
valuations.
So I'm going to throw some perspective here. 2005, the government of the day, the Harper government of the day, walks away from these negotiations. Things fester even longer and longer and longer. 2015, the Trudeau government comes in, opens the door to resume getting these talks back on track, and correct me if I'm wrong, but still 10 years, almost 10 years later, here now, we're in the late end of 2025, another 10 years pass. We have a different government in Ottawa, the Liberal government of Prime Minister Mark Carney, but seemingly the political mood is still there for a resolution. Have I got that right?
Yeah, it's there. From a government side, there's always these promises. And promises are only promises, and what we have to do is to make those promises become real. And so it's really up to us to continue to look at how do we use our world views to encourage that promise to be real. You
Yeah.
know, and we have to challenge them at every step of the way to get there, and that's what we're supposed to be doing, and we have to be ready. We know what's needed, we know where it has to be used, and then move on.
So where is the process at? Is there going to be able to be a resolution without a court decision?
Well, that's what this phase we're in going into is gonna tell us that. We have to look at what they got as well as they have to look at what we have, and we have to do the comparatives. They might not see some things the way we see it, and so we have to explain it. I'm pretty sure that whatever they're giving us, we've been through that process, and so we need it's probably more them understanding our worldview because of the changes of the policies that we're using in this session from the previous ones. And so it's a kind of a learning as well, but it's still based on specific principles and based on the principles of our legal orders. And so that focus eliminates us from being sidetracked or influenced by outside political activities or inside our internal band at emotional attitudes. And so that's kind of where we're at, is we got to stay focused to that lens only. We'll look at what's around us, but it's not, and take in what is needed for us to move forward.
Yeah. So, Councillor Holmes, encouragement indeed. You have led this charge for a long time to get this resolved. Not everybody within the band follows this nearly as close as you do. But so, and I think I know the answer, but I'm going to ask it anyway. Can you paint a picture, a scenario of what this looks like when it's resolved? What does a resolution look like?
what the resolution looks like, you'll be looking at new land. You'll be looking at your own land. Uh, how you determine that, I guess the question that comes around that is it going to be reserve land? Is it going to be fee simple? What is it, municipal style? We don't, we're not interested in the name of it. We just say, at the end of the day, here's X number of land, that's ours now. We'll determine through due processes and what that looks like. So that's number one. We will have land back. That's the ultimate goal. And inside of that ultimate goal, we also have opportunity to get some type of compensations for the wrongs they've done to us. I mean, that'll come in within that package, and that package is a little bit different from maybe the norm of how they look at valuations and compensation. What we're using in this particular case is the cultural fracturing, the cultural fracturing in the sense that the community have talked about how all of the wrongs, excuse me, all of the wrongs that have been done to the people since the settlers came into. They come in different forms, and so when we package this compensation package now with for the advisory council, it's a gathering of all of that information that we've been talking about for years. It came in the community comprehensive plan. It came on. They came out in our organizational reviews and many other types of studies that have been down the road here. It comes out in terms of the referrals, consultation and referral process. All kinds of information comes from there. So you just put that into one package, and that's your culture. And to create a culture creates a nation as well. So culture supports your nation. And vice versa, it's a two-way street here. So nation also strengthens your culture. This is something new into this system. And that's the thing that we're not quite fully sure of how they're going to receive this compensation and culture fraction scenario that we're talking about. But at the end of the day, it's up to us, the people, to make sure that whatever is needed there, whatever we're asking for, gets resolved.
Yeah.
We may not get the whole 100%, but there's another day to get that.
Councillor Holmes, I tell you what, on behalf of UNB Live, we want to be there the day you announce the settlement. And maybe for the first time in many, many years, that you can actually envision that. It sounds like it.
It's gonna get resolved. You're gonna get the land. You're gonna get your compensation. We just don't know how long it's gonna take us. 6 months, a year. Really depends on us on the table and how ready and aggressive, and not aggressive in terms of violently trying to do something. Aggressively meaning to keep on top of this on a 24-hour basis.
You got a whole community right behind you. Thank you for coming on today. Thank you for the update, and keep up the fight.
No doubt. And I really appreciate all of that support that's out there. And any more we can get from the side, from our non-native perspective, those are there as well. So we have to combine all of that support in some fashion on the table. And I really appreciate the time that you've given me to let our people know where we're at, what we're expecting, and how we're gonna get there. Thank you.
Thank you, Scotty.
Well, that's going to do it for this episode of UNB Live. It's beginning to sound a little like Christmas, Diana.
Oh, yeah. 'Tis the season, Bob. The hardworking elves at the UNB headquarters are all gearing up for the annual Christmas tree enchantment fundraiser. This year is going to be way bigger and better than ever before. Band administrator and the Christmas tree organizers, Colette Sunday, will be on our next show.
And that's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of work too.
Oh,
and,
we've got extra trees.
And so popular, so popular. Remember, your issues, your community, and this is your show, UNB Live. And we certainly do hope that you'll tell your friends, tell your families, because as we always like to say here, the more...
The merrier.
Exactly. Stay safe, everyone.
Hi, Tam.